synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck you. Fuck yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you very much for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. This is episode number 736. Episode number 736 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please add to your bookmarks or your favorites my official website, updated daily with the up-to-the-date news, so you get to know what Ghost knows on Ghost.report. That's all you got to do. Type that in your browser right now. Ghost.report is the official website of yours truly. And of course, if you haven't done so, my social media of choice is X or Twitter or whatever the hell you want to refer to it as. You can follow me on there at The Ghost Report, all one word, no underscores, The Ghost Report on X or Twitter or whatever the hell you want to call it. All right, folks, look, a lot of things have been going on since the last time we talked. We're going to talk about everything and, try to be optimistic, I'll be honest with you, all right? But, hey, if you take a look at the markets, they seem to be a little optimistic today. Why? Because it seems to me that Trump and his tariff threats don't seem to have much teeth, all right? I mean, it wasn't even, not even 48 hours, what is it, 36 hours since Trump announced that he was going to launch the gauntlet of tariffs on Mexico and Canada, and before you know it, it was just dropped, all right? But we're going to talk about that in a minute. Yesterday, if you take a look on the market, it was bloody red, but then all of a sudden, you had a, kind of a change of minds, if you will, and the tariffs on Canada and Mexico are paused now. So today, what do you see in the markets? You see a lot of optimism here, and this is what the market is interpreting these tariff threats, which, in my opinion, I don't think they have much leverage after Trump just dropping them merely after 36 hours. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the markets. They seem to be optimistic. Dow Jones Industrial is up 0.30%, closing out the Dow at 44,556.04 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P 500. It is also up modestly. It is up 0.72%, closing out the S&P at 6,037.88 points for the S&P 500. And we've got the NASDAQ. It is also up more than modestly. It is up 1.35% on the day, closing out the NASDAQ at 19,654.02 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, a lot of uncertainty going on. We really don't know what exactly Trump is doing with the economy at this point. I think that the reason you're seeing it positive in the market today is because the tariffs that have been touted because of him having his hand on the chicken switch with Mexico and Canada. I don't think that Wall Street believes that Trump is very serious about these tariffs, and the positivity today in the market shows it. Gold was down modestly today, even though it's still way above 2,800. It is down 0.12% on the day, closing out gold at $2,872.30 per troy ounce of gold. And very interesting on oil. It's kind of leveled out at this point, but we're going to talk about this later. Trump is promising to lower the price of oil by overproducing, and not only overproducing here in America, but also having OPEC overproduce in order to bring down the oil price to punish Russia for not coming to the negotiating table in the Ukraine conflict. So right now, you don't really have much going on in the oil. It is up 0.01%. Current price for a barrel of oil is $72.71 per barrel of WTI sweet crude oil. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about cryptocurrency as well, folks. All right. Very topsy-turvy in the cryptocurrency markets. I think, and I've said this here for the past couple of shows, Trump messed it up for everybody in the crypto markets, everybody that was overly optimistic in the crypto bro realm. I think they've just got piss in their Cheerios because, like we've mentioned, the Trump coin that was launched by Donald Trump, his meme coin right before his inauguration, raking in about $60 billion in market capitalization, producing nothing, manufacturing nothing, or providing no services, by the way. And a lot of these crypto bros believe that Trump is going to somehow make Bitcoin some kind of reserve currency. I think that you are sadly mistaken. I don't know if you saw today, but the SEC just announced that they are organizing a crypto, what do they call it? A crypto like organization to try to, I guess, rein in these meme coins. You know, so it's some kind of a crypto organization within the SEC. Doesn't sound very pro crypto to me. All right. So with all due respect, I think everybody right now should take, in my opinion, this is what I'm doing. I have nothing in crypto anymore. Trump messed it up for everybody. I think you need to take your money and run. Aside from the fact that I believe that we are currently in a recession, given the economic uncertainty of the policies of the current administration, I think people need to start saving United States dollars, all right? Especially if Trump is going to really throw the gauntlet down on these tariffs. I mean, that's why when the tariffs were implemented on Mexico and Canada, you saw the American dollar go up in value. And the American dollar is going to continue to go up in value. And as a result, that's going to stop people from spending the United States dollar and actually encourage them to save the United States dollar. And because most of the people post-COVID have just been burning their cash, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get a chart about what we're talking about when it comes to the consumer here. All right. Because I'm telling you right now, the consumer is in some bad shape. All right, in bad shape. Let me go ahead and show you a chart about consumer personal savings. And I want to say cheers to the folks that are hooking it up with the Rumble rants. Arrogant bastard, thank you very much, man. I'm not feeling too bad. Cheers to you. And he also said, would it be a good idea to wait for cryptos like XRP to hit lower? I actually think it would be, because we are still waiting to see what the administration is going to do about crypto. And as I've stated, every single debate in the circles of cryptocurrency that is close to the current administration has everything to do with centralization as opposed to decentralization, which was the pinnacle of cryptocurrency once upon a time. And if you take a look, XRP, ADA, and there's a couple of other coins that are not necessarily open like your traditional decentralized crypto. These are centralized tokens, and I think that is what is going to be regulated and going to be dispensed and legalized, in my opinion. But we shall see, all right? We shall see. Anyway, let me take a look at this chart here. Put the PC shot on. I want to take a look at this chart. This is the United States personal savings rate. And if you take a look right here, take a look at how much was saved during COVID. That was 2020 to 2021. I mean, all-time highs in personal savings. And if you take a look at it now, we're starting to dip below almost all-time lows when it comes to personal savings. So not too many people are saving at this point in time. Everybody is just partying like it's going out of style, and this is something that people need to pay attention to as far as I'm concerned. All right? Also, I think everybody needs to take a look at the debt balances of folks in this country. Let's go ahead and take a look at that chart. Let's take a look at a 10-year on that one. Put the PC shot on. You take a look at the amount of debt that the United States consumer has. We are at all-time highs when it comes to consumer debt. Absolute all-time highs. So we're in no condition, in my opinion, to be touting any kind of economic optimism as far as I'm concerned. I mean, take a look at the max. I mean, just to prove to you that we are at all-time highs when it comes to consumer debt, that is not something that is conducive for a positive economy. All right, so once again, I'm just trying to highlight to everybody that even though people still have a little bit left over in their credit cards, a little bit left over when it comes to their personal savings, they are spending the last of it. All right, they are spending the last of it. And since we're looking at charts here, let's take a look at mortgage balances in America today because we're at all-time highs there. Put the PC shot on. Outstanding debt balances of mortgages at all-time highs. This is not good. All right, this is not good, and I hope everybody heeds this warning. I've been trying to tell people since March of 2022 when the Federal Reserve decided to raise interest rates to save money, save capital, United States dollars. Cash was going to be king, and it is. All right, it absolutely is. And speaking of cash, let's go ahead and take a look at currencies, the United States dollar at this point in time. All right, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at the value of the dollar here. That's just the 1 year. Let's look at the 5 year on that. All right. Now, when we started seeing this spike, when was this? This was right around the time I told everybody to save their fucking money. March of 2022, right here. Right here, March of 2022. I started telling people, save your goddamn money and take a look at the value of the dollar since then. All right? And I'm telling you, folks, there's a reason why Warren Buffett has $300 billion in a cash hoard just waiting for this economy to crash so he can buy up all the assets for pennies on the dollar. All right? So once again, everything looking as I prognosticated for the past couple of years, and I hope many of you heeded that warning, all right? Anyway, with that being said, let's make a transition, no pun intended, and let's talk a little bit about some news here, all right? Now, it's been some time, and we're to go on Ghost.report, by the way, and for all those that don't know, I update Ghost.report daily. It is a news aggregation of links that yours truly aggregates and reads through in order to be in tip-top shape to give CIA levels of assessments, all right? So we're going to go February 2nd and take a look at how every day it's been a never-ending news cycle in the current administration. Now, back on February 2nd, all right, we had this scare of tariffs, you know? Food prices are still high, and of course, the Trump administration is trying to say it's Biden's fault, all right? Trump vowed to immediately bring down egg prices. His new press secretary says the sudden spike is Biden's fault. Well, I don't know whose fault it is. I just think that it's artificial. I think that this is a bunch of crap, in my opinion. I think this avian flu is just another reason to rise prices in everything that we need. And I made this apparent on Twitter earlier today. Don't you find it funny that every nutritious food that has the highest nutritional value seems to be going up and up in price? I mean, I don't think that's a coincidence. Meanwhile, all the artificial preservative crap is, still staying the same at the low prices. I mean, I've said this time and time again. You go to your grocery store, they have expanded the frozen section of absolute max to the hill preservative crap. They have expanded those damn aisles, and there's a reason for it. And cheers to trolling the interweb with the Rumble rant. Always appreciate the finance ghost. Cheers. Thank you very much there, trolling. But as we see on February 2nd, I had put a poll on my Twitter, and 35%, actually a little bit more than 35%, are pessimistic or think the country is ruined. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic. You got to be cautiously optimistic. And of course, we all have to know that if Trump is going to be for real on these tariffs, that he's going to send prices higher. Now, I'm willing to bite the bullet. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic here. I mean, I think that it's absolutely appropriate to throw tariffs, but when he was talking about tariffs here about February 1st, February 2nd, Trump was in the Oval Office having a press conference, and he said, and I quote, "These tariffs are non-negotiable." He said they're non-negotiable, and I was like, all right, well, let's do this. All right, let's see what you got. And then 36 hours later, well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, all right? Anyway, 2 weeks of the president, politics and tragedy, because we are seeing a very broad sweep and a radical change of the current government structure under Trump. And at the same time, it seems to be a lot of planes going down and crashes, a lot of things happening. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, all right? Now, Trump came out on February 1st and 2nd and said, look, Americans could feel pain, all right? All right, we could feel pain because of all these tariffs that we're going to have. And look, I'm okay with that so long as we're going to generate revenue from these countries because we have had imbalanced trade deals with these countries. I've been discussing the imbalanced trade deals ever since 2008, 2009, and I'm willing to bite the bullet on this one. But when you have a president that has his hand on the chicken switch, and as soon as he gets a little bit of bad news, decides that, oh my God, I got to pivot. I mean, this is what's causing a lot of uncertainty here, which I really don't appreciate about this administration, being so early, in its term here. I think we need to either stick with the tariffs or not even bring them up at all. Not even bring them up at all. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue. Musk and his task force has gained access to the Treasury payment system on February 2nd. Now, this has evolved. This story here has evolved, and it has now become a very contentious issue when it comes to Musk and his unprecedented access to the American government. All right, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we continue on with the days. Now, this is a very interesting story here. Now, for all those folks that were kind of rolling with me when it comes to this war within our government and how the D.C. crash had something to do with that, I just want to brush up on that for just a second. I don't want to harp on it too much, but it's very interesting. Now, first and foremost, I do want to talk about the footage of the Black Hawk helicopter slamming into the commercial aircraft. I do want to show you the footage of it once again that was actually leaked by 2 airport employees that have since been arrested. They have since been arrested. Now, take a look at it. This is a very eerie footage. Viewer discretion is advised. Take a look at this. There's the Black Hawk helicopter, and it just goes right into the airplane. Right into the airplane. Now, the 2 airport employees that supplied this video to the public have since been arrested. Now, you can guess whether or not why they were arrested. That's up to you on, how you've got to figure that out for yourself. But they released the 2 airmen that were in that Black Hawk, but they had left the 3rd person that was on that flight. They had left it out. They left it anonymous. They claimed that they needed to get to next of kin. Well, folks, very, very eerie situation. The third Black Hawk helicopter pilot, the identity of this person was released, and believe it or not only was it a female, but this person actually was a White House aide under the Biden administration, which makes this whole situation even that much more weird and screwy, to say the least. And moreover, if you take a look at this person, you try to look them up, Rebecca Loback, 28, there is no social media presence of this person. Many people are, kind of flabbergasted that they can't find anything. Me and the True Capitalist Radio chat room and the Inner Circle, we were able to find a web page highlighting this female's basketball career in college. And that's about it. Now, ironically, not only was Rebecca Loback a White House aide under the Biden administration, but the father of Rebecca Loback consequently has the patent for the digitization of medical records, and he is a doctor at Duke University. So just some connections to throw out there. I'm not suggesting anything. I just think that it's rather eerie that the third pilot that was in the Black Hawk that slammed into the plane in D.C. just happened to be a aide to the Biden administration. And, there's just so many coincidences with this D.C. thing. All right? There were Russians on board. There was somebody by the name of Epstein. I'm not joking. I think it was the attendant. The flight attendant was named Epstein. Very weird stuff when it comes to this D.C. crash. None of it makes sense. And that's why if the official narrative doesn't make sense, you should always fucking question. All right? You can always fucking question. Yes, you can patent the digitization of medical records. Look up who Rebecca Loback's father is, and you'll find out for yourself. And what's up, Friesen Zakata? Anyway, we're still on February 2nd here. DNC chooses who as their chairperson? Who the hell is Ken Martin? I find it really pathetic that the Democrats, given the fact that they are at the absolute bottom of the political totem pole, can't concoct somebody, some young person, some new blood, some Obama character or something to resurrect whatever the hell they have left as a party. But no, they're doubling down. They're doubling down, and they're sticking with this progressive crap. They're trying to promote AOC as some kind of a fucking leader. They actually put in, and thank you, Frank Castle, remember the kid from Parkland, Florida shooting, David Hogg? Believe it or not, the Democrats actually elected him as vice president of the Democratic National Committee. All right, this is how these stupid Democrats are doubling down on this ridiculous progressiveness, and I have no idea why the hell they're doing this. If anything, they should start going towards the center, because that is where the power is, as I've always suggested. So, Ken Martin, I don't even know who the fuck you are, but, give me a break. And, of course, look at these libs. Look at this. Look at this hipster cartoon in the back shoulder of this idiot. Give me a break. Y'all aren't going anywhere, Democrats. Anyway, of course, February 2nd was Punxsutawney Phil, and he did see his shadow. Now, I don't know if you guys were up early enough to see the live feed.
I'd buy that for a
Hey, what's up,
dollar.
Ghost in Templeton or Gomies? I'll get to the buy me a coffees in just a second, man. Cheers to you. Anyway, Punxsutawney Phil, when I was watching Gobbler's Knob on the live feed, there was many of them on YouTube, the folks that were conducting the ceremonies out there, I mean, what a bunch of boring tards. No offense. All right? I mean, right before they pulled the rat out of the damn tree stump, they were all bouncing around like they had a fucking hamster hanging out their asshole to the song Mr. Brightside by the Killers. And whoever the organizer that were up there making asses out of themselves were trying to make believe that they were going to make this a new tradition. Such fucking millennial shitheads. I tell you, I'm sorry. I was not impressed with the Punxsutawney Phil Gobbler's Knob live feed. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk a little bit about what we were discussing here, what was posted on February 2nd on Ghost.report. Russia, Ukraine are blaming each other for this Kirk's boarding school attack that happened. And, of course, these guys are both trading punches, literally and figuratively. Zelensky says that Russia, this past week, launched 1,400 airstrikes. So everybody is trying to blame everybody here in this conflict on what and who is making more collateral damage. And, it seems like no end in sight. But the Trump envoy that is supposed to be close to the situation came out and said that Ukraine and Russia must compromise for peace. And right now, it doesn't look like either side wants to compromise. A lot of death. This conflict has been going on for years now, and it doesn't seem like anybody's budging. All right. Hey, what's up, J7? I'll get to you here in just a second. Putin called the exclusion of Russia from the Auschwitz events shameful. And the reason is because, lest we forget that Russia aided the United States and the other allied powers in order of taking over the Axis powers and their geographic strongholds. Auschwitz was one of them. And, of course, the reason that they're excluding Putin and Russia from Auschwitz is because of the current situation in Ukraine. And remember, throughout the 2024 campaign, Trump insisted that he could end the Ukraine war before his inauguration. He insisted that he could end the Ukraine war like that because him and Putin were like this. Well, Putin has ignored Trump, and guess what? He's going on with more attacks. All right? He's planning new attacks. So whatever simping that Trump thought was going to get him in the good graces of Putin has not worked. It absolutely has not worked, all right? But anyway, let me take a pause here and let me acknowledge some of these Rumble rants and the Buy Me a Coffees. Arrogant bastard, before you know it, Ghost, that skunk-headed rat will try to sell us on eating bugs. Well, we're getting there. Belligerent Brian, any chance we can debate your take on immigration? Well, we're going to talk about immigration. Devious Dave, is RC Cola and moon pies a good investment? No. Let's see. We got Devious Dave again. Is that a Jewish last name? What the hell does that mean? And Kits does a flip. What's going on? $5 Rumble Rat. Are we going to see the rise of the left-wing conspiracy theorists who view these plane crashes the same way they view 9/11, a plot on the American government to push propaganda on the youth even further? Well, Kits, I'll be honest with you. No one really knows what was really going on in that D.C. Blackhawk and commercial airline collision. I personally believe that it is something to do with the internal struggle of the government, lest we forget that Trump is asserting himself very aggressively and is taking down a lot of institutions that used to be powerful within this government system. And a lot of people aren't going to like that. Trump is changing the trajectory of America economically, foreign policy-wise, socially. So there's going to be a lot of opposition. And I, in my opinion, I think that a lot of these tragedies that we're seeing here at the beginning of the year have something to do with that, in my opinion. We got Duke Orville. He said David Hogg is vice chair of the DNC now. That's what I just said. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. It seems to me the more ridiculously, pathetically, mentally challenged you are, you're more embraced by the Democrat Party. AOC, David Hogg, give me a break. And speaking of AOC, trolling the interwebs with a Rumble rant, AOC is a total airhead. She can't even regulate her handlers' talking points correctly. You're right. You mean regurgitate. My bad. You can't even regurgitate her handler's talking points. She's an idiot. All right. You know why that dumbass bitch AOC is there? And look, this goes out to any one of you that want to have political ambitions. All she did was take a little precinct in New York City. And believe me, there's a lot of precincts in New York City because it's highly densely populated. So there's a lot of them. And she took a precinct that had somebody that was an incumbent that had been there for like 9 terms and had ran unopposed. All right, it was a Democrat. All right, and he had ran unopposed. He had been there for 9 terms. And what AOC did is that she decided to become a bartender and show off those Puerto Rican milkshakes at the bar while she was bartending, and told all these hard-leg simps, like, hey, you know, you want to meet me at this address and this, and I'm not joking around. And what happened is she got so many hard legs and so many people to show up at the precinct meeting during the election. Because what happens is that when there's an election, there's a primary, right? There's a primary, and when there's a statewide primary, there's actually precinct meetings going on at the same time at every precinct level. And believe it or not, if you can bring more people than the incumbent to that precinct meeting, meaning AOC brought enough hard legs to the precinct meeting to make her the nominee and basically primaried out the incumbent. And that's why we have AOC. And she ran unopposed, and she walked right into Congress. You can do that too if you can find a precinct that has somebody that is running unopposed, and you could do the same thing. That's literally what AOC did, and that's why she's in power. All right? Anyway, thank you for that, troll on the interwebs. Arrogant bastard. Wait, wasn't it David Hogg, the same guy who was accused of being a crisis actor? Yes, that's him. And Belligerent Brian, didn't Russia have its own Holocaust, though? Well, you know, it depends on how you look at it. Five Finger Prostate Punch, you said $15 for eggs. Can we get a source? Well, I mean, in some parts of the country, it depends on what market you're in. All right, they're going as high as 15 at this point. It depends on what market you're in. If you're more away from a market where there's not as many chickens going around, there's not as much rural land going around, I'm sure they're pretty fucking high. I'll tell you this, over here in San Antonio, I'm still fucking paying $8, $9 a dozen out here in San Antonio, Texas. Anyway, Devious Dave, do you have any good news today? Well, I'm trying. I mean, it's not much good here. Black Cat in the YouTube chat says they're $10 in Manhattan. Thank you, Black Cat. All right, put the PC shot on. We're going to continue here. Let's see. We're still on February 2nd here. Ghost.report. China denounces Trump's tariffs and labels the fentanyl issue the United States' problem and claimed that they were going to retaliate, which, you know, of course, they've done today, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. They have since filed a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization. Like, I don't know if that's going to make any difference, but that's one of the countermeasures by China with this tariff by Trump, which I don't know the World Trade Organization is going to do about it. And while that's happening, Xi Jinping is being very aggressive on reaching out to countries in order for them to have influence in that part of the world. Latin America is one of them. All right? Watch China in Latin America. I think there's a reason why right now Secretary of State Marco Rubio is down there hobnobbing and rubbing elbows with all the folks down there that are leaders. All right? Because China is trying to gain access to the Americas via Latin America, and we've got to stop their asses. And that's why the Panama Canal, I believe, is part of the strategy of preventing China of having its feet in Latin America. So there you go. Now, with that being said, Trump vows a EU trade war on top of that. And the EU vowed retaliation at first, but I don't know if that's going to happen. All right. And on top of that, Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, actually meets, all right, with members of the EU talking about reset talks. Can you believe that? I mean, all that Brexit fight, and all of a sudden you got UK's Prime Minister, Starmer, trying to say he wants to hold reset talks with the goddamn, with the damn EU? Come on, man. And by the way, for all those folks that don't know what's going on in Germany, Germany right now is in the middle of a snap election. And in this snap election, they have a far right wing, which in my opinion, I think it's left wing, but far right wing party that's called the AfD. And the AfD is supposedly this very right wing, anti-immigrant, But in actuality, they're a puppet of Russia. All right? The AfD is a puppet of Russia. That's why I would caution Germans from being tempted to, kind of entertain the views of the AfD, because they are definitely a Russian front. And as a consequence, the AfD, they're obsessed with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I mean, I wonder why. And by the way, Musk is meddling in the German elections, which the Germans really don't appreciate. Really don't appreciate whatsoever. So that's February 2nd news. A couple other things that I added on here, that Japan is monitoring the yen, considering the Trump's tariffs. Japan's Muslim community is facing hostility over a burial request. I'm telling you, Japan, as much as they tried to prevent foreigners and immigrants coming into their country, because of their aging population, they are forced to do so. And now they're challenging, things like this, which go against their culture, which is now, being put in the point, put up by the media, I meant to say, excuse me. And by the way, let me go ahead and get to some of these buy me a coffees here. My apologies here. I was looking and doing two different things here. That's why I kind of stuttered-stepped, no pun intended. And let me go ahead, put the PC shot on. I do want to say what's up to Duke Orville in the house. I can't tell you what Palantir does, but they're the 50th largest company in the world based on the market cap today. No kidding. I can't tell you either. Cheers to Duke Orville with the 10 beers, man. I can't tell you what Palantir does either. I could just give you a synopsis of what it claims it does. What it really does, it's taking AI and it's aggregating all data for the alphabet agencies, the CIA, FBI, and such. And that's what Palantir does. All right, now, does it justify the market capitalization? I don't know. But cheers to Duke Orville. Good to see you, man, and thank you very much. And happy Taco Tuesday to you. And we got Templeton and Ghost Gomes. Ghost, I told you, it's better to do a ghost show. You're more famous. Also, no one cares about TCO. What are you talking about, man? I got a lot of people that listen to this damn broadcast. It's just because you trolls want to sit here and want to be tomfoolery 24 hours a day. You better get used, all right, to, well, I shouldn't say get used to it. You should savor, all right, this time wasting that you have, this living in fantasy, this not maturing, failure to launch, man-child bullshit, because the fact that you've got Trump deporting all these Mexicans, I think that you people need to recognize that somebody's going to have to go out there and pick that vegetation. Somebody's going to have to go out there and pick that agriculture. Somebody's going to have to go out there and tend to the livestock. And who's going to do it? I mean, the Mexicans, they've all been deported. Who's going to do it? You're going to do it. You're going to do it, and you're going to like it. And guess what? You're going to do it for the Mexican wages, too. So I hope you like it, all right? I hope you appreciate it. Anyway, we got Jsev here who said, I think you won't find it surprising that I lean somewhat left. I'm strongly considering gathering some folks to protest at local DNC senator's office. They got us into this shit with their nonsense. They're absolutely correct. You know what, Jsev? That's actually a pretty good point, because it was the abuse of the state of the United States government by the Democrats that has caused all this, if you want my opinion. All right, now let's go ahead and get back to the show here. Put the PC shot on. Now, we're going to go from the February 2nd Ghost Report Daily now to the February 3rd Ghost Report Daily. And hey, El Foxo, I'll get to your buy me a coffee in just a second. And here's the February 3rd Daily Report, Ghost Report Daily. Trump makes Musk a special employee. What the fuck does that mean? All right? What the fuck does that mean? Trump makes Doge head Elon Musk a special government employee amidst accusations of a takeover. Well, folks, if you have been listening to me throughout the 2024 campaign, right after the assassination attempt on Trump, and all of a sudden the PayPal mafia, decided to come along on the Trump train. I told you all that something was rotten in Denmark, and the PayPal mafia wasn't just dumping all this money into Trump's campaign for nothing. All right? They're coming to collect now, baby. All right? And that's exactly what's happening. That's why Elon Musk is just going in and out of any government institutional building. He's going into people's records. He has full access to the government because of this fucking Donald Trump. And what the hell is a government? What is a special government employee? I mean, this guy wasn't elected. I mean, how the hell does this guy have this kind of access to the government? And hence why you have this graphic here. Now do this. Yes, master. And once again, he has dangerous access to the U.S. Treasury. All right, dangerous access. And, I mean, there are some people crying foul about this, but in my opinion, I don't think there's enough people crying foul. All right? Now, why it matters, Musk isn't the only force driving the Trump administration's escalating purge of civil servants, but his fingerprints are everywhere, and his methods are unlike anything the federal government has ever seen. Musk and his lieutenants, many of them Silicon Valley transplants, some as young as 19, have been tied to a series of high-profile departures and ousters at the top of key federal agencies. Now, who are these people that Axios is talking about? Musk's crew of people that are going in and just chopping up, firing people, having access to everybody's records, has access to your social security number, has access to everything. Who are these pricks? Well, they're young, inexperienced Zoomers here, all right? Check it out. The young, inexperienced engineers aiding Elon Musk's takeover. Engineers between 19 and 24, mostly linked to Musk's companies, are playing a key role as he seizes control of the federal infrastructure. All right, now who are these people? I mean, who are these people? I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, by the way, they had named these people in this article, all right? But because Elon Musk is claiming that he is going to sue or potentially use the government to arrest anybody identifying any of these 19 to 24-year-old Zoomers that are taking control of the government, I mean, that says a lot. I mean, he is threatening to jail anybody who is going to identify these individual engineers that are 19 to 24 that now have unprecedented access to the Treasury Department, to my social security number, to your social security number. Unbelievable. And we got a couple of Rumble rants. Belligerent Brian, Starmer belongs in goddamn prison. Also, you missed out on Starmer. He's trying to skip the local elections in the UK. He also told Labor to shoot down an inquiry into grooming gangs. Fucking awful. Yeah, I know about that. And Five Finger Prostate Punch, what's your take on Trump considering sending criminals to El Salvador? I'll get to that in a minute. Thank you for asking. And Belligerent Brian, never compromise on your culture, ever. Do not allow foreigners to piss over your heritage. The English nearly made the Welsh language extinct.
I'd buy that for a
Well,
dollar.
thank you very much, Belligerent Brian. And Froppy, I'll get to yours in just a second. Thank you, Froppy. And Devious Dave, if you and your parents aren't born here, they shouldn't be allowed to work that high up in the government. Elon is not an American. He only sees us as an economic zone. Well, he convinced enough MAGA people to believe that he was an American. All right, I mean, you've got MAGA people like trying to hold water for this guy. Anyway, with that being said, these young lackeys should not have any kind of access to the Treasury. I think it's dangerous, and I think more people should be hollering about this than there are currently. All right? Now, with that being said, Trump is asserting his power, sidestepping Congress. And when is Congress going to finally stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, you can't just do this shit on your own. You need our approval here. All right, look at this. Trump kicks aside Congress with sweeping claims of presidential power. With an aggressive reading of the Constitution, President aims to upend the balance of power in Washington. Now, to be honest with you, some of the things that Trump is doing, I'm not necessarily against. All right, I'm not necessarily against the tariffs. I'm just against that he ran on the fact that he was going to lower prices, especially on food, and has done the complete opposite. All right? But I'm not against tariffs. As a matter of fact, America has been taking it on the teeth in imbalanced trade deals for the past 30 or 40 years. But when you're pulling the trigger on tariffs, and then you got your finger on the chicken switch and say, oh, never mind, we're going to pause them. I mean, the threat of tariffs doesn't mean shit. And I'm going to talk about some other things that we're going to discuss that I'm not against Trump doing, all right? But he is asserting himself in a little bit of a dictatorship type of capacity, which I believe will bite him in his ass in the end if he's not careful. Now, this is actually what I'm for here. Closing down U.S. Aid Department, all right? And what I'm going to tell you here is this is very important. Because aside from them closing it down, I don't know if you saw all the ruckus of all these government employees that work at this building, but they were in complete shock that they could not enter their place of employment, and they have since, I believe, been fired. And these lackeys, I believe, that are bean counting everything in every one of these bureaucracies have found erroneous spending. I mean, I think Trump was touting that they had found out of the U.S. Aid Department $100 million going to Gaza to buy them condoms. Now, you know as well as I, Gaza doesn't need $100 million in condoms. Somebody put a lot of that money in their pocket. And you see, not only did they put that money in their pocket, but with all due respect to the folks that work at U.S. Aid has been used by the Democrats in order to siphon government money to put not only in their coffers, but to use as political weapons against their political adversaries. And what's going to happen here, folks, is the Justice Department, ran by Pam Bondi, is going to use whatever evidence is found in U.S. Aid, and there's a lot of fraud in there. All right, there's a lot of fraud. I believe Trump is going to use that to go after his enemies, and they're going to use this as legal means of doing so. And this is why the Democrats are a little scared. All right, the Democrats are crying foul that the U.S. Aid Department is closed, and the reason that they're doing so is because many of them, kind of put money in their coffers, all right, from this organization, and they're going to be caught with their hand in the goddamn cookie jar as far as I'm concerned. So mark my word, this U.S. Aid Department being closed, anything that's found out in there is going to be used against the Democrats, because the Democrats have used this organization. Actually, it's not even an organization. It's a federal fucking wing of the government. They've used this as a weapon. They've used this to put money in their coffers. And I believe that now is the time this is now coming home to roost on their asses. All right? Now, when asked, who the hell is the head of the U.S. Aid Department now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, I am. All right? I'm in charge of it. And when he discussed it, he discussed all the fraud that's happening, all the waste that is happening in this U.S. Aid Department. And I'm telling you, that's going to be used as fodder to prosecute Democrats. Watch, mark my word. And hey, I mean, the Democrats brought them on themselves. Look, I am not for or against Trump. I am cautiously optimistic that he does the right thing for the country. But one thing you have to highlight, the Democrats used state power, all right, the machinery of the government to go after Trump. And now that Trump has control and authority over the state government, he's going to do the same thing to the Democrats. All right, he's going to do the same thing to the Democrats. So watch for that to happen, and he's going to use U.S. aid to prosecute many of these people. All right? Now, with that being said, the tariffs on Mexico and Canada, all right? Now, it wasn't 36 hours after he named these fucking tariffs on Mexico and Canada, this guy reverses course, all right? This guy reverses fucking course. You see, I am for putting tariffs on Mexico and Canada, all right? And I thought Trump, he was sitting there in that damn desk saying, these are not negotiable, these are not negotiable. Bullshit. Look at this. Mexico agrees to deploy 10,000 troops. Hey, geniuses, they already had troops at their fucking border, all right? They already had troops at their border. What the hell did we get? What the hell did we get for this crap? I mean, fucking Trump couldn't get us some cheap avocados and tequila or some shit? Give me a break. I mean, this is about trade, Trump. It's about fucking trade. Why don't you give us some shit? All right? We're paying a whole shitload. We're sending a whole fucking bunch of money to Mexico and Canada. All right, give me a fucking break. What the hell is 10,000 troops at the border? They already have them there. They already have them there. I mean, if this trade war is about prices, is about helping the American people, well, then how about negotiating some fucking food? All right, how about that shit? Food prices are through the roof. All right, why don't you negotiate us some fucking cheap avocados or some shit, man? Why don't you bring some prices down? You have the authority to do that shit. Instead, you play chicken shit. You didn't want the tariffs for the long term because you knew it would crash the economy. And guess what? You fucking, none of this has teeth anymore. None of this fucking tariff shit has teeth anymore because now all countries that have tariffs on them by the United States know that they just have to wait Trump out because he's a bunch of bullshit. All right, that's great. That's great. Anyway, let me get to some of these buy me a coffees here. Put the PC shot on. We got El Foxo Loco. Your opinions on Ukraine being reapproved for further strikes on the mainland on Russia with U.S. weapon systems. Dropping a log as we speak, brother. You really unclogged my pipes. Really good. Yeah, fine. Froppy. No, don't. Dude, listen. I did not post these names, Elon Musk. All right? Don't sue me. Don't sue me. Don't put me in prison. I didn't fucking release the names of your lackeys, all right? This fucking Froppy did. I did it. Don't come at me, Musk. Fucking prick. Anyway, Jeffrey Gostein, will you service my schmeckle? All right, I was waiting for that one. Anyway, let's continue here. Put the PC shot back on. People are trying to get me in trouble and shit. Anyway, with that being said, we're still on February 3rd, Ghost Report Daily here. Nationwide protest over Trump's immigration policies. Now, look, I get it that, the immigration policy is going to inconvenience a lot of folks. I get that, but unfortunately, this is the law of the land. And right now, we have an administration who wants to be very aggressive on immigration, and I just don't think that illegal immigrants have the right to be protesting for some fucking rights they don't have in my country. All right? I mean, I have no problem immigrants coming in, working, being on the down low, 10 fucking Mexicans to a damn one-bedroom apartment or whatever they're doing. But now all of a sudden they're coming out and pretending to be Black Lives Matter for this shit, and we can't have this, all right? We can't have this. All right, either get legal or go back to your country, all right? It's unfortunate. All right, I mean, I was all for using illegal immigrants for cheap labor. Unfortunately, that's gone out the window now. Now I'm going to have to, hire some man-child who right now is getting their thumbs bruised on video games and playing pocket pool, watching imported animated pre-teenage girls on cartoons. I'm going to have to hire these pieces of shit. All right? They're going to be the new Mexicans, and I can't wait. All right? I can't wait for that. But anyway, immigration protests. McConnell came out and said Trump's tariffs are going to increase costs. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Thanks, McConnell. I didn't even know you were still alive. And the thing about it is, okay, great. Trump is being very aggressive on illegal immigrants. Fine. But is this all for show? I mean, take a look at this. Immigrants arrested in Trump's crackdown. And guess what? Okay, they're arrested. Then they're released back to the United States. I mean, why the fuck are we even doing this if we're going to release them back into the United States? This makes no fucking sense. And the reason they're giving us is because of space constraints. Well, shouldn't that have been a part of the logistics before you started going on this massive deportation plan? I mean, shouldn't that have been on the fucking agenda on where you're going to house these people? Oh, my God. I mean, here, we're going to go ahead. We're going to show everybody that we're cracking down like that stupid bitch from South Dakota. Have you seen that dumb broad? She's the Department of Homeland Security head, and all she's doing is playing cosplay Barbie. Have you seen that bitch, that Noam bitch, Christian Noah, whatever the fuck her name is? Have you seen her? Every fucking day, this bitch is out with a cosplay new outfit. She's like, hey, look at me, I got a cowboy hat. Hey, look at me, I got an ice bulletproof vest on. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. And lo and behold, you're giving us all this hoopla about rounding up a bunch of illegal immigrants, and yet you're releasing them back into the country. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's right up fucking Democrats' alley, for Christ's sake. If you're going to round up the immigrants, then take them the fuck out of here. All right? Don't be giving us this bullshit that, hey, look at us. I'm cosplay Barbie. I'm Christy Noam.
I'd buy that for $1.
Give me a fucking break. And, dude, shooting TARs for sport in Sweden, that's too soon, dude, all right? That's too soon. Jesus Christ, man. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, I'll get to that in just a second. All right. Anyway, where the hell are we at here? Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on. All right. Now, because Kash Patel plans on being the new FBI head, courtesy of Trump, FBI is sounding the alarm bells. Take a look at this. They are threatening to sue the Trump administration over fears of being purged. Now, the unfortunate part about this is that they may have a case, all right? They may have a case, and the reason is because if they have no due process, which is a part of being a part of the government employee system, then they could potentially sue the American government and get restitution. All right? Get restitution. Stop that shit, Froppy, you piece of shit. Stop it. Stop it now. Because if you deny somebody their due process, then they could potentially get restitution. That's what happened to McCabe, the FBI assistant director. I mean, that's what happened to Peter Strzok. I mean, all those people got compensated because they didn't have due process and they were fired. I'm not joking around. So this may bite Trump in the ass if he doesn't figure it out, all right? I mean, we may have to pay for these pricks as restitution and all that crap. So anyway, once again, FBI threatening to sue if they have a mass purge going on. And the Democrats unleash a 10-part plan to take on Trump, which is a bunch of crap. I mean, we're just going to double down on all this fucking identity politics shit that made us lose by an overwhelming landslide in 2024. Yeah, great plan, assholes. Jesus Christ. And let us continue here. Once again, we're still on February 3rd, Ghost Report Daily here. Putin praises Trump and says EU leaders will, quote, wag their tails. And that's why I have a image here of Vladimir Putin petting Trump on his skunk head, saying good boy. And here's the video, just in case you people don't believe me. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. Play this
Но я
shit.
вас уверяю, Трамп с его характером, с его настойчивостью, он наведет там порядок довольно быстро. И все они, вот увидите, это произойдет быстро, скоро. Все они встанут у ноги хозяина и будут нежно помахивать хвостиком.
All right, so there you go. You've got Putin heel kicking over here, saying that Trump will force the EU leaders to wag their tails, something that I don't think Trump appreciates. I think that Trump, this is why he's not acting as friendly to Putin as he once was during the campaign of 2024. All right? Put the PC shot on. Now, Putin is open to some type of a peace summit, but he doesn't want Zelensky to have anything to do with it, and he wants the peace summit either in Saudi Arabia or UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Now, with that being said, while he's throwing us a bone out here saying that he wants to meet, the Kremlin is celebrating our self-destruction. All right? Cackling Putin pals celebrate Trump's simply sensational first week of self-destruction. Because let's be honest, I mean, he is half-assed almost everything. The only thing that he hasn't half-assed is allowing Elon Musk to run roughshod wherever the fuck he wants in the government. But, you know, throwing tariffs on Canada and Mexico and then taking them off, saying one thing and doing another. I mean, come on, man. I mean, stick with it. If you're going to make a decision, live with it, man. I'm tired of this wishy-washy crap. Seriously, man. I mean, that's why the Kremlin is heel kicking. All right, it's heel kicking because we're a total mess right now as far as the American government is concerned. We're a complete mess. The economy is going to be in a complete mess. That's why I'm warning you all, save your United States dollars. All right, because if you don't, you know, you're going to be shit out of luck. And speaking of money, did you see Zelensky? Hey, where's the money? Hey, Trump, where's the money here? Where's my money? Don't know where it went, Zelensky said. Ukraine received $75 billion out of the $177 billion approved. Where's the money? I need more money. Where's the money? Well, you know, that just goes to show you that Trump was... look, he's half-assing everything just like he's half-assing this. He said he was going to stop funding Ukraine, and he half-ass stops it. All right, Zelensky comes out. Where's the money? All right, where's the money? And, of course, he responds today, which I'll get to in a minute. But Trump-Ukraine talks are going pretty well, according to him. All right, even though he said that he was going to have this war ended before his inauguration, Trump has come out and said that the Ukraine-Russia talks are, quote, going pretty well, whatever in the blue hell that's supposed to mean. All right? I mean, people are still dying. They're still out there fighting wars and crap. I don't know. I don't understand how it's going real well there, Trump. Now, let's continue on. Rubio warns Panama of U.S. action over China and their Panama Canal influence. All right? Now, this is very interesting here that the United States, under this current administration, is threatening to use military force in order to assert their ownership over the Panama Canal. And the reason is, I mean, let's be honest, it's China's influence. I was just mentioning that earlier in the broadcast, how China's influence is something that the United States needs to focus on, especially in Latin America. So this is why Rubio is warning Panama, hey, either cut your fucking ties off with China or else. All right? Now, with that being said, Panama came out and ended their relationship with China's premier foreign investment program after United States pressure. So I would say this is definitely an L for the Trump administration when it comes to foreign policy, because I do agree that we need to take over the fucking Panama Canal. We paid for it. We built it. It belongs to us. So I kind of understand the importance of the Panama Canal when it comes to commerce, when it comes to the moving of goods, that sort of thing. And I understand the aggression by this administration. So once again, a W, I meant to say, a W for the administration for this one. All right? The W for the administration for that one. Anyway, the Chinese, given the dire economic situation that is in China, I know they're trying to show a strong face with the DeepSeek and the saber rattling over Taiwan. I mean, lest we forget, they're not doing pretty well economically, and now Chinese are fleeing to Japan in order to escape Xi Jinping's rule. And I don't blame them, man. It is pretty bad out there, all right? It is absolutely pretty fucking bad. That's why Trump thinks that he has China by the balls. That's why he's adding another 10% tariff. Anyway, let me get to some of these Rumble rants here. We've got Five-Finger Prostate Punch. ICE is now spawn camping, I should say, around taco eateries. Well, no shit. Cheers to that. Trolling the interwebs, we will just initiate a committee to throw them in jail without charges. Well, thank you very much. Cheers to trolling the interwebs. And Cornbread Man said, if Zelensky wants to know where his money is, maybe he should call the Pentagon. They're good with that. Yeah, I know, spending all that money. I hear you there, Cornbread Man. And by the way, let me go ahead and take some of these buy me a coffees here so that we can continue on with the broadcast. Cheers to everybody out there who's hooking it up. Put the PC shot on. Shooting tards for sport in Sweden. Bruce Willis just died. No, he didn't. And Froppy, you piece of crap. Anyway, let's continue here. Where was I at? Put the PC shot on. Let's continue. Europe on how to confront U.S. trade war. You see, the Europeans, they love having meetings, all right? That's why they became a fucking European Union. They all hang out in Brussels, and they all think they know what's going on. They all think they have, they know it all. So they're all out there brainstorming what the hell they're going to do about a pending tariff on their asses. And I doubt they have any good ideas, for Christ's sake. Now, when it comes to the UK, even though Starmer is trying to have a reset with EU, he came out and said, look, I'm not choosing sides between the United States and the EU, all right? I'm dealing with you both. I'm not choosing sides. So I don't blame him. I mean, he needs to play both sides. He's not looking very good. I mean, he's not even in the prime minister. He's not even been prime minister for a year. And he's had a whole bunch of fucking flubs, a bunch of cover-ups. I mean, I can't believe it, for Christ's sake. Cheers to Marshall Bernsey, man. I'll get to your buy me a coffee in just a second, man. Cheers to you. But once again, Starmer not picking a dog in the fight between United States and EU. And by the way, very interesting thing happened in the German election on this day, February 3rd. Protesters in Germany were protesting against the AfD because of the backed migration plan, which failed horribly in I don't know, their form of government, whatever the hell you call it, the Bund or whatever the fuck you call it. Believe it or not, what happened here is that the center-right decided to get together with the far-right AfD and attempted to try to shove some kind of piece of legislation into Parliament against immigrants in the country of Germany. And it failed horribly. All right? It failed horribly. And because it failed, protesters came out to rally against the AfD and the center-right party for even proposing such a migration, or I should say aggressive migration reform situation. So I don't know if the AfD shot themselves in the foot. I don't know if the center-right shot themselves in the foot in Germany. But obviously, the people of Germany are not for a immigration reform, even though you have small factions within the German country that want to do so. So unbelievable. Watch Germany, man. There's a lot of things going on in Germany. Watch them. It's going to be very interesting when their election comes around. Now, with that being said, since we're talking about aggression when it comes to Trump's foreign policy, another country that he states that he'd use military action for is Greenland. Greenland, my apologies. Greenland. Now, Denmark kind of saw this Greenland situation with America a little bit, they saw it as aggressiveness. They saw that the United States was being aggressive. Well, lo and behold, now that it seems as Trump is not backing away from this Greenland situation, you've got Denmark, who actually is supposed to control Greenland, thinking about allowing an increase of U.S. military presence in Greenland. So, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So, look, this is a W again for Trump, because Greenland provides a lot of strategic military defense and opportunity, in my personal opinion. And moreover, I believe that the climate is changing over there, not because of cow farts or CO2 emissions, but I don't know if you saw, I think 2 weeks ago, or one of the posts, one of the Ghost Report daily posts, where I show an article that suggests that the magnetic north of compasses, the magnetic north is actually moving All right, there's a magnetic movement going on away from the North Pole and more towards Russia, believe it or not. And the consequence of that is going to have Greenland a little less icy, at least according to those that are following this situation.
I'd buy that for $1.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Look, don't do this. All right, hold on. Pause this shit. Hold on. Don't do this crap. All right, that's not even funny to troll around about. Look at this shit. Put the PC shot on. Shout outs to New York City Chads for protesting this day without immigrants while Cali cucks and screeches like chimps. That's Marshall Bernsey, by the way. And then we've got Elon Musk. Take my employee names down or I'll be forced to take action with my lawyers. Don't do that. Don't even kid around about that shit. All right? It ain't fucking me, Elon. It's fucking Froppy. It's fucking fucked up fucking Froppy. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, put the PC shot on. We're still on February 3rd, Ghost Report Daily here. Georgian police out there in the country of Georgia arrest opposition at pro-EU rally. So, once again, a lot of things going on with Russia being the constant because Russia is really the agitator in the country of Georgia at this point in time. And I think everybody out there needs to recognize that Russia, even though it's in a quagmire here in Ukraine, it is doing other things outside the theater of combat in Ukraine in order to continue its influence in the international community. So, once again, be on the lookout for that. Avian flu all of a sudden conveniently spreading in Japan. All right? I mean, come on, man. And you want to know why avian flu, in my opinion, I think this is all a bunch of bullshit. I think this avian flu is all a bunch of crap. It is purposely being put out to cull a bunch of birds in order for us to pay more for what we need, like food, all right? I mean, eggs, believe it or not, is one of the nutritious things you can eat. And, of course, the whole reason why they're doing this avian flu business in Japan is because Japan loves fried chicken. I'm not joking around. Every Christmas, this goes to show you how we Americanize these Japanese. Every Christmas, the traditional Japanese Christmas dinner is Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm not kidding. So I'm just saying, that's my opinion, all right? OpenAI and SoftBank partner for an AI partnership in Japan. The Defense Secretary Hegseth affirms United States support for Japan and South Korea. So once again, at least Japan and South Korea know that the United States have their back, at least according to the lover boy, Secretary of Defense Hegseth. And South Korea, believe it or not, has a deep fake porn problem. Not joking around. Freaking Asians, man. Although deep fake porn is a global problem, South Korea has been hit particularly hard. Particularly hard, get it? Anyway, something interesting to read about. Let's not necessarily go into it, but enough of a problem that it's becoming a top headline out in that region. North Korea comes out and calls the United States a rogue state. Yeah, I know you are, but what am I? You know what I'm saying? I know you are, but what am I, little Kim? And the Australians fear a trade war with the United States. Everybody fears a trade war. But like I said, the fact that you got Trump having his hand on the chicken switch with the Mexico and Canada tariffs goes to show you that I don't think anybody's going to take his tariff seriously. I think everybody knows that it doesn't have teeth, and he'll eventually reverse itself. I mean, that the Mexico and Canada tariffs show it. All right. And trolling the interwebs with a Rumble rant, they call it avian flu, but it only affects birds in our food supply, not pet birds or wild ones. Thank you, trolling the interwebs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. And hold on, Crossover Maniac hooked it up with a $10 Rumble rant and hooked it up with this link, which I'm only going to view it because I recognize the organization that put it out. Put the PC shot on. Trump's EPA house cleaning begins. 1,000 bureaucrats get termination notices through email. Yeah, the EPA. That's a group of bureaucrats that deserve those fucking termination notices, all right? What a waste of time, effort, and energy, the EPA. And Devious Dave with a Rumble Rant. The South Koreans have Telegram groups where they make AI porn of classmates. It's pretty sick. That's why the 4B movement is so big over there. Jesus Christ, are you fucking serious? Good God. Anyway, thank you, Crossover Maniac. I was going to talk about this a little while later, but thank you very much for highlighting the fact that there is a great federal government employee purge, which I'm not against. I'll be honest with you. I'm not against that shit. Put the PC shot back on. We got Trump and Netanyahu. Deal or no deal? All right. Netanyahu is actually currently, or just finished, a press conference with Trump. He is here in the United States. Deal or no deal? And it seems to me that there is a deal. All right. I mean, Trump came out earlier and said that he is insistent on Egypt and on Jordan and other countries taking in Palestinians. And I'm not too sure how that's going to hold over very well, because nobody in the Middle East wants Palestinians. All the Middle Eastern countries like to use their plight to exploit, but certainly none of them want to actually bring in Palestinians. And I'm sure you all know why. Now, Syria, under its new al-Qaeda government, is now seeing a little bit of uptick in violence. A car bomb kills 20 in Syria. And yes, the leader of Syria is a hardcore al-Qaeda member. All right? I mean, just first of all, the name that they're using for the guy, the head of state or the interim head of state of Syria, is not his name. It's not his real name. All right? His real name, if you look up his real name, you'll find this guy, videos of him like 20 years ago, 15 years ago with heads and shit, chopping heads off and with heads around. I'm not joking around. Al-Qaeda is in control of Syria. That's all I got to say. Anyway, is there a ceasefire in the Congo? Well, that was yesterday. And the Somalian government confirms that ISIS leaders were killed in the U.S. strike. Now, I want to put this first and foremost. These were not ISIS fighters that were killed, okay? First and foremost.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey, cheers to Chris, man. Thank you very much, man. I'm going to get to yours in just a second. The group that's in Somalia is Al-Shabaab, and Al-Shabaab is an Al-Qaeda affiliate. I wish people would recognize the groups involved instead of giving other groups credit for shit they didn't do. But anyway, Pete Hegseth had released some kind of a news report, or news release, I should say, highlighting the fact that the United States was involved in some kind of an air attack in Somalia. All right, so we'll see what culminates from that, for Christ's sake. And South Africa, it's denying that it's confiscating land from whites amid Trump's threats of potential sanctions and other things when it comes to South Africa. And I'm not too sure about that. I think it's been a long-going story, at least for the past 6 or 7 years, that this is what Africa has been doing. And, you know, I find it ironic that the African National Congress, the ANC, which is what this gentleman represents and is the leader of South Africa, by the way, the ANC, the whole reason why they came up as an organization was to reject apartheid. And lo and behold, the ANC in 2025 is doing the exact same thing, if not worse, than the apartheid occupiers of history's past. So isn't it ironic, you know? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Anyway, with that being said, let's go to today's news on Ghost Report Daily. February 4, 2025, China retaliates on Trump's tariffs. That's right, they're going to throw 10% tariffs on us. I'll see your tariff and raise you. That's where we're at with China at this point. And I believe China knows that it can wait out Trump. And that's why the second headline, did Trump blink on North American tariffs? You're goddamn right he did. You're goddamn right he did.
$1.
You're damn right he blinked. The president pauses after minor concessions from Canada and Mexico. You're goddamn right they were minor. All right? I mean, these were not any kind of concessions. I mean, where's some cheap-ass avocados or some shit? I mean, how about some cheap maple syrup from Canada or some crap? I mean, wasn't that what the trade war was about? Is that, hey, give us some cheap crap. We give you all the cheap crap. Give us some cheap crap. All right? Let our people save some money. I thought that was the intention of the tariffs. Obviously, it's not. So you're damn right Trump blinked when it came to these tariffs in North America. He damn right blinked. And hold on, let me go ahead and go back to these Buy Me a Coffees. And cheers to everybody out there, donating Buy Me a Coffees, man. I appreciate it. All right. Chris, what's going on, Ghost? Thanks for doing a show.
I'd buy that for $1.
Jeez, some idiot. Dude, fuck you, whoever the hell's pretending to be Elon Musk. Fuck off. Anyway, thanks for doing a show. I'm glad crypto took a hit. I'm sick of these crypto bros. I'm sick of them too, man. And yeah, they created a crypto task force at the SEC today. Did y'all see that tweet? The SEC creating a crypto task force. That certainly doesn't sound pro-crypto to me. I don't know about you, but it doesn't sound like pro-crypto to me. Anyway, cheers to you, Chris. Happy Taco Tuesday. And someone, hey, Ghost and chat, can we all agree that we are all wanting mommy milkers all up in our faces? Oh, Jesus. All right, you're a sick, disgusting fucking pervert. And here's somebody pretending to be Elon Musk. You will receive a cease and desist letter in the mail along with your White House influencer podcast rejection letter. Oh, well, thanks a lot, man. All right, I wanted to get access to the White House press corps. All right, now I got Elon Musk over here saying, don't think so, pal. Anyway, let's go ahead, put the PC shot back on. Ghost Report Daily, February 4th. And yes, Trump did blink on the North American tariffs. Now, with that being said, Trump establishes a sovereign wealth fund. What? I mean, this is what small countries do in order for them to get GDP. You know that? Anyway, I can't believe that we're doing this. And on top of that, he's thinking about buying TikTok with this sovereign wealth fund. Are you fucking nuts? Nationalizing TikTok?
I'd buy that for
I mean,
$1.
isn't this fucking socialism, for Christ's sake? I don't know. Isn't this fucking socialism? I can't believe this. All right, I really can't believe this. The United States is now turning into a hedge fund. All right, I can't fucking believe this crap. And isn't there some kind of conflict of interest? You know, given the fact that, you know, this sovereign wealth fund is going to be intended for profit. I mean, isn't there a conflict of interest on what or who that sovereign wealth fund invest in? I really do not like this sovereign wealth fund. He's going to fund it through taxpayer money. All right? Funding it through taxpayer money, and he's going to use the sovereign wealth fund as a means of buying TikTok. Now, I hope that you TikTokers recognize that the only reason that you mindless morons can make money doing the stupid brain rot shit that you do is because China has an unlimited bank account to demoralize America with your stupidity. All right? If Trump does establish this wealth fund and takes over TikTok, I sincerely doubt that the government sovereign wealth fund will be paying you for your degeneracy and your brain rot bullshit. All right? So keep that in mind, you TikToker morons. Anyway, Devious Dave, can I get you access to I can get you access to the White House, but you have to be
I'd buy that
have to
for
pretend to
$1.
be a gay prostitute. Give me a break. And here's Froppy trying to get me in trouble and shit. Oh, let me get to some of these Buy Me a Coffees here. All right, and Froppy trying to get me in fucking trouble. What a prick. Put the PC shot on. We got Kirk Johnson, who said the attacks on the white population in South Africa, since, I'm not saying that word, are in charge, are 100% deliberate. The people running it are openly advocating genocide of white South Africans. Act like you don't see race all you want, but race will always see you. And he left me a link here, so let me go ahead and take a look at what Kirk Johnson has us a link to here. Let's take a look at this. Put the PC shot on, courtesy of Kirk Johnson. What is this?
For each one person that is being killed by the taxi industry, we kill 5 white people. For every one black person you kill, we'll kill 5 white people. To kill one of us, we'll kill 5 of you. We'll kill the children, we'll kill the women, we'll kill anything that we find on our way. They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many? They kill one of us, we kill how many whites? We kill the children, we kill the women, we kill their dogs, we kill their cats, we kill anything that comes for each
Well,
one
there you
person.
go. That's part of the South African movement, I believe, that is trying to confiscate land. And Kirk Johnson just made it a little raw there, all right? Just a little raw. Anyway, we got Froppy. I told Musk I got you the names. I got the names from you. This is all your fault. Maybe you do radio graffiti. He changes his mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Anyway, once again, let's get back to Ghost Report Daily, February 4th here. Trump establishes a sovereign wealth fund.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, I'll get to that one in just a second. That's an inappropriate fucking name. Suplexing babies into a steel rail. What the fuck kind of name is that? Good God. Anyway, let me get back to here. 20,000 federal workers take Trump on his buyout offer. Take a look at this. Now, for all those that don't know, Trump is saying, look, if you're fired, you can take my buyout offer right now. If not, well, you run the risk of not having anything. All right, so 20,000 of the federal workers have taken the buyout. So, cutting fat. I mean, I'm not against federal employees being unemployed. I'll be honest with you, all right? I am not against that, all right? I mean, these people have had it off the high hog, off the American taxpayer for too goddamn long. So hey, cheers to this, all right? Cheers to this. Now, very interesting inquiry that Trump is opening here. Did you see this? Trump's opening an anti-Semitic inquiry into 5 colleges that include Columbia and Berkeley. Now, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I do agree that there's radicalism happening at these campuses, but I don't think that it's directly having to do with anti-Semitic behavior. I just think it's general leftist lunacy. Why make this anti-Semitic? I have no idea. I have no idea, but you all can surmise your own conclusions yourself. And while he's coming out and opening an anti-Semitic inquiry into 5 colleges, he is now attempting to dismantle the Department of Education. And I have no problem with that. You all know that I have been an advocate of the privatization of education. I've been an advocate of that because, in my opinion, everybody blames the guns for all these mass school shootings, and yet they don't ever credit the social environment that is created in these schools as the culprit, as the constant of the motivation of these mass school shootings. I mean, I've said it many times. You compare a public school to a prison, it's the exact same system. It's the exact same system. Whenever the students have to leave the classroom to go to point A from point B, they line up in a line with their hands tied behind their back. Same thing with the prisoners.
For $1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you cut the crap? Anyway, you go to the cafeteria. All right, same thing in prison. You go to the yard. Same thing in prison. So, in my opinion, folks, all right, I am for the dismantling of public education. It's done nothing for the country. All you have to do is look around you and take a look at all these ignorant pieces of trash. If we combine the millennial generation with part of the Gen Z generation, they may have enough intelligence to tie their shoe. All right, it's pathetic. All right, and here we are, another crop of employees that are getting all kinds of money. I'm talking teachers, I'm talking school administrators. They get the summers off, they get weekends off, they get paid leave. It's bullshit. All right? And meanwhile, these stupid, dickless teachers are dumbing down our country and getting paid for it. All right? Fuck public education. If you're a public school teacher or an administrator, fuck you. You are the culprit on why this country is in dire straits when it comes to mental capacity. You are the reason why we have this ultra-sensitive fucking population from the millennial and younger. It's your fucking fault, you stupid pieces of shit. If you pat yourself on the back on being a public school teacher, you're fucking kidding yourself, all right? You public school teachers are no different than the fucking Nazis who were guarding the goddamn concentration camps, you stupid pieces of shit! You know you're dumbing down these kids. You know you're dumbing down America. But because you have your cush goddamn job, because you got your weekends off, because you got paid leave, because you got free summer, all right, you just sit there and bite your fucking tongue and continue to dumb down the country. Well, fuck you. Fuck you, teachers. Fuck you, administrators. Fuck them all. Piece of shit. Anyway, sorry, another W for the Trump administration, because by God, this fucking education system is a piece of trash. It's a piece of trash, and everybody in it is just as much of a piece of trash than the damn system itself. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm very passionate about this issue. I'm sick and tired of seeing a bunch of dumb fucking young people, and it's not their fault. All right? It's the fucking education that they're forced to go to. You know that children spend more time with public education bureaucrats.
For $1.
All right? More time with public education bureaucrats than they do with their own family, with their own parents, for heaven's sake.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, jeez. Can you cut the crap out? Whoever the hell's donating is fucking Elon Musk. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, Kits does a flip, hooks it up with a Rumble rant. I'm still pissed off at my high school teacher. She actually damaged my self-esteem and in general was a self-hating white person. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kits does a flip. But you see, that's what public educators do. All right? They have a shitty life. Take a look at the family lives of most educators. They usually have fucked up children. All right? They got a fucked up family. They're usually divorced. Why? Because they're incompetent pieces of shit, all right? And they shouldn't be teaching children anything. Anyway, let me move on here, all right?
I'd buy that
Let me move
for
on.
$1.
All right, I'll get to these in just a second, all right? I'm in a fucking zone here. Anyway, let's continue. Now, Elon hacks the government? Take a look at this. Elon Musk and Doge are hacking the government. They're moving with lightning speed to try to remake the federal government. Many Democrats and even some Republicans say his efforts are unlawful. I think that there's some validity to that because, I mean, this guy's not even a fucking citizen. He wasn't even born here. This guy's a South African, all right? And this guy has unprecedented access to national security levels of access. I'm not joking around. And now he has full reign over whatever bureaucracy of the government that he wants. He has control of the Treasury payment system. He has access to everybody's Social Security numbers. Who is this fucking prick? All right? I mean, I get it. He threw $250 million in Donald Trump's coffers. That does not give him access to government buildings and government information that have proprietary information about you and me. And I think this is unlawful. I absolutely think this is unlawful. Somebody in Congress needs to start stepping up and saying, who the hell is this guy? All right? And trolling the interwebs, I think anyone who says it's unlawful should have their money sources investigated. Oh, fuck you, dude. All right? It is unlawful. All right, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's not even American. He wasn't elected to anything. We didn't elect this prick. The hell are you talking about? We didn't unelect this. We didn't elect this fucking idiot. And Tesla Cyberheart says it's weaponized autism. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Well, look, we talked about a lawsuit. They've got it. Take a look at this, all right? Lawsuit takes on Musk's payment system takeover on privacy grounds. Giving Doge access to the Treasury Department's payment system violates the Privacy Act of 1974 and IRS statutes. So here we go to the legal system to try to make something out of this mess, you know? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Jesus Christ. All right? And by the way, the Democrats, they're coming out and saying, it's illegal! Full remarks on Raskin condemns President Trump and Elon Musk's illegal and unconstitutional abolition of U.S. aid at the press conference. All right, look, let me get to some of these buy me a coffees. Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on here? All right, I'm sorry. All right, I'll get on with this in just a second. Put the PC shot on. Here it is, all right? What do we got here? We've got suplexing babies into steel rails. We should all get together and warn Elon Musk on X about ghosts in his anti. Fuck you! All right, fuck you! And we got Elon Musk. If you do radio graffiti, I'll consider retracting my cease and desist letter. Also, that is why I left Africa. I can't stand the... I'm not saying that, you fucking racist bastard. And Exxon Revo... Let me see if this is pertinent to anything that we're discussing. If not, I will play it on the Ghost Show, okay? Thank you for the video. But if it's not pertinent to the discussion here, I'll just play it on the Ghost Show, all right? FYI. What the hell is this? Hold on. What is this shit? Hold on. What the hell did you just donate me here? What is this crap? What is this crap? What in the furry hell is this shit? What in the furry hell is this crap? Oh no! Oh no, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Oh! Fucking furries!
You're looking good now.
I can hear people yipping right now! I can hear them yipping right now!
Listen to me. Join the party.
Oh my god. I'm sorry we're watching this. Oh god, what? No! This furry shit! This is the furry's wet dream! I mean, good god! Oh, Christ! Alright, I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. What the fuck? What is this Furfest bullshit? Oh, God. Alright, I'm sorry, folks, alright? I'm sorry we're watching this. I thought this was... Oh, shit! I don't even know if I could show this! I don't even know if I could show this shit! Wait a minute, that's a fucking commercial? Wait a minute, that's a fucking commercial for juice? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'd buy that for $1.
That's a commercial for juice? Oh, God. All right, dude, I'm turned off now, all right? I'm fucking turned off. All right? I was having a good fucking show until I had to see that bullshit. Oh, God. I don't know what to say, dude. I'm sorry y'all had to see that. Anyway, this ain't the Ghost Show there's Anton Revo. I thought this was going to be something pertinent. Sorry y'all had to see that. And look at this. This asshole pretending to be Elon Musk. I'm not saying that either, you fucking racist prick. We got someone who said, so you're not going to agree with liking mommy milkers, Ghost, huh? Must be because you want some unclean, hairy... Jesus, I'm not fucking saying that. Can y'all just piss off with this crap, all right? This is a serious show, man. Don't you understand that? And then look at this. I am QAnon, try and stop me. Some fake Elon Musk bastard. Here we go again. All right. Like, I think we better just calm down here, all right? And what is this? Jatario average IC discussion. Join if you're a furry. Don't even kid around about that shit, all right? There ain't no goddamn furries in the inner circle, asshole. All right, there ain't no damn furries in the inner circle. Put the PC shot on. We got bacon and eggs. Hey, Ghost, I'm sorry. I'm just tuning in now, but aside from whatever the fuck that furry shit was, sorry about that. Did you see the comments Trump made about U.S. taking ownership of Gaza? I just heard about it. And, he wants all the Gazian people out of there. That's why Trump wants Egypt and Jordan and others to take in some of these Palestinians. So, yeah, I heard about it. Not good. All right. Anyway, look, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was horrible. Anyway, let's get back to what we were discussing here. And we were looking at the Ghost Report Daily, February 4th here, talking about how Elon hacks the government. There's going to be a lawsuit. The Democrats saying it's illegal. And by the way, Jewish leaders are calling for a boycott of X. Why? Because of the salute that Elon Musk did, that even though the ADL gave Musk a pass on this, all right, there's Jewish folks in the community of the Jewish people that refuse to accept this. They absolutely refuse to accept this. So as a result, they are calling for a boycott of X. And by the way, people have been trying to replicate this symbol, whatever hand symbol that Elon Musk says this is, and every time somebody did that, they got fired or they got canceled on social media. I mean, to be the richest man in the world and to do dumb shit like this, I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyway, with that being said, while Elon Musk's lackeys is going through all the damn bureaucratic systems of the government, the CDC website has gone dark, folks. All right? CDC web pages go dark as Trump targets public health information. Resources for contraception, gender-affirming care, STIs, and HIV flicker in and out of existence or vanish completely. And to be honest, this is the beginning, in my opinion, of destroying Obamacare. Because, folks, Obamacare gave everybody the illusion that they had good health care just because they had easy access to a doctor. And unfortunately, what that easy access to a doctor has done, it has enabled the doctor to get kickbacks from pharmaceuticals and bill the insurance company and Medicare for anything that's wrong with you, okay? Prior to Obamacare, we had patient-side care. Now with Obamacare, the doctors get paid by the insurance company and Medicare, giving them an incentive to try to find something wrong with you. And I've always said, ever since Obamacare came into existence, show me somebody with badass insurance. Show me somebody with great insurance. I'll show you somebody who's sick as a dog. And why? Because that's how our health system is. All right? Obamacare gave monopolization over our health to the health insurance companies. And I'm glad that, at least for face value, the Trump administration is attempting to do something to try to systematically remove Obamacare out of existence. And let me tell you, if you were alive when Obamacare was enacted and you remember people's health pre-Obamacare, folks, we have all gotten dramatically more sick ever since Obamacare. And RFK Jr. highlighted that in his testimony during his hearing for his nomination. And I'm glad that he didn't back off from that. I'm glad that he said, yes, I think Obamacare is horrible. We have gotten statistically more sick. We've gotten statistically more diagnosed. We've gotten statistically more people on medication after Obamacare than we did previous. So I'm glad we're seeing this. Once again, I'm trying to highlight some good news and some bad news when it comes to the administration. This is definitely good news. Now, egg prices at all-time highs, all right? I know everybody's feeling them. Egg prices, all-time highs, $7 or $8, $10 in Manhattan, we just heard, as high as 15 in some markets. And meanwhile, you go over to Canada, take a look at Canadian prices. All right, I put this on my Twitter earlier today. Meanwhile, in Canada, a dozen eggs for $3.93. Remember those prices in America? That wasn't that long ago. And remember, a lot of you folks voted for Donald Trump in hopes of bringing down some of these costs of necessities. And unfortunately, that has not come to pass whatsoever. That has absolutely not come to pass whatsoever. So, I don't know. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. All right? I'm highlighting both good and bad. You can't say I have any bias here. I am cautiously optimistic, but hey, this is a government made for the people and by the people. So you have to highlight what's good and definitely what's bad with the administration. And hold on, Froppy, what the hell did you say? Froppy shits on the Department of Education, says the dumbest shit ever. Now it makes a lot of sense, Ghost. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, Froppy. You just doxed the fucking employees of Doge, for Christ's sake. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk sends the federal fucking government after your ass. And trolling the intrawebs, the most important thing to do is to dispute all claims on your insurance, even if they aren't fraudulent. Clog that shit up. Well, that's trolling the intraweb saying that. That ain't me, all right? That ain't me. Anyway, let's continue. Put the PC shot on. Once again, we're on Ghost.report. And once again, for all those that don't have Ghost.report bookmarked or saved in their favorites, I strongly advise to do so because I update this every day, giving you the aggregated news to give you abreast of what the hell is going on in the world. Now, as we continue, a day without immigrants protest. Did you see this? A day without immigrants. All right. Actually causing closures of businesses because of this. And it goes to show you how many immigrants were actually employed, not just in the agriculture and livestock employment sectors, but in the general service industry, in the general fast food industry, in the general restaurant industries, in the general cleaning industries. So when all these folks are deported, are you people that are sitting there getting your thumbs bruised on video games and fanning your nuts to Japanese cartoons, are you going to take these jobs? Even if you don't want to, the conditions, in my opinion, the economic conditions are going to be so dire that you're not even going to have a choice. You're not even going to have a choice. All right? Anyway, with that being said, Joe Biden, the ex-president, signs with a Hollywood talent agency. What the fuck? Joe Biden signs with a Hollywood talent agency. What the fuck kind of sense does that make? This guy's an 81-year-old prostate-infected prick. What, this guy's going to become the next Richard Gere? The fuck does this guy think he's going to do? He thinks he's going to be the next Pulp Fiction? I mean, what the fuck? Things that make you go, in my opinion. I don't know what these people are thinking. You know, talent agency? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I just want to let everybody know how to read Ghost.report. You usually have the headline and then the continuity of the headline and domestic news right here in this first block on the left. Then when you get to the second block, this is typically either weatherish or science news. So that's what this second block is. The third block to the left is, little sports news. I know there's not a lot of sports fans that listen to this broadcast, but, there's some news for you. And we go to the second column. First block is the headline of international news. The second block is usually either Russia or China. And the third block is usually EU, UK, Europe news and stuff. The third block, or I should say the third column, first block, is usually Asian and Australian, Indian news in that kind of capacity. Here in the middle block, in the third row, we have general international news, and then finally, right here on the bottom block, in the third column, totally useless news stuff. Always going to find totally useless news, like Kanye arrives at Grammy with his naked squeeze. UFC fighter breaks penis. And speaking of furries, take a look at this. Furries warned not to abuse other species. All right, so just letting you know how to read Ghost.report. All right, giving you aggregated news for you to kind of concentrate on so you can be abreast on what the hell's going on with the world. Anyway, let us continue here. We've got Trump is continuing to aid Ukraine, but wait a minute, just for a second. Just for a second, Trump is making an offer to Ukraine. Trump has said that they'll continue supplying the money. Remember, we just saw Zelensky complaining, where's the money? Well, Trump says, I'll give you the money, but I want your rare earths. Oh, I want your rare earths. All right, play this shit. Oh, well, I thought there was actually going to play the speech there. Thanks a lot, Newsweek. I don't want to hear your fucking fruity-ass music. Why don't you air the goddamn quote? But anyway, as I was stating, Trump wants security of Ukraine's rare earths elements for U.S. support. Now, this isn't a bad deal, in my opinion, all right? I mean, it goes to show you that Trump isn't a full-out simp for Putin. And secondly, he is kind of looking out for America, because if we're going to give all this money to Ukraine, Ukraine's got to do something for us. And believe it or not, Ukraine is absolutely open to the idea. All right? Absolutely open to the idea. Russia, on the other hand, not so hot about this idea. Take a look at this. Russia to Trump, back off Ukraine's rare earths. And why are they saying that? Because that's one of the main factors on why Russia invaded Ukraine to begin with, was the natural resources. That was the whole reason why they invaded. So of course, Russia's going to say, back off, man. Those are ours, all right? I mean, we've killed almost 1 million Russians trying to get access to that fucking natural resource. So once again, Trump kind of playing games here with Russia and Ukraine, and I think it's because Putin slapped him in the mouth. I think it's because Putin scoffed at the proposal that Trump gave for a peace plan, and because of that, Trump took it as disrespect, and as a result, this is why you're seeing this weird pivot in Trump's stance on the Ukraine-Russia war. So rare earths for protection, not bad. Not bad at all, and it's another W for Trump. All right, he's taking some L's, taking some W's. All right, and another thing Trump said, which I alluded to at the beginning when we were talking about the markets here, Trump threatens to strangle Russia's economy with an oil price collapse. Is he bluffing? Now, what Trump is suggesting is that not only is America going to ramp up its production of oil, but it's also going to encourage OPEC to do the same. And by doing this, it's going to drive the cost of oil down dramatically. We saw something like this in the fall of 2015. In the fall of 2015, we saw oil prices go as low as $28 a barrel. All right? I mean, the barrel was worth more money than the oil at that time. And why did we do that? We did that for a bunch of reasons. One of the reasons we did that was because we wanted to put Venezuela in a dire strait situation, which we did. Unfortunately, Venezuela waited it out. And we've done that a couple of times. This happened after 9/11. Okay, this was the Saudi Arabians and the OPEC countries' way of saying, hey, look, we're sorry. I don't know if y'all remember that, man. Dude, 2001, I remember seeing prices of gas go down to like 89 cents, man. We were fucking circa 1986 or some shit. Anyway, trolling the interims with a rumble ram. Trump started strong. Remember, the first thing the Biden administration did, all immigrants should flood across the border. I do remember that, yeah. I do remember that, to be precise. But anyway, let's see if Trump is for real about driving the price of oil down. That would actually help the country. I mean, even though we would be paying, if he stuck with the tariffs and not been a chicken shit, even though we would have been paying a little bit more on other products because of the tariffs, if you were to bring down the cost of oil and gasoline, that could potentially offset. So we'll see. You know, I mean, once again, I'm cautiously optimistic, even though I think Trump is doing some bad shit. I don't like how he's letting Elon do his thing. I've already explained some of the things that I disagree with Trump on at this point. Now, continuing along with Russia, did you see what Putin did? It goes to show you how desperate he is in this theater of combat that he initiated with Ukraine.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Just cut the crap, whoever the hell that is. Anyway, Putin panic is clear as Russian leader lowers bar with alcoholism, drug addiction, syphilis, asthma, even psychosis will no longer be grounds for discharging men from the military. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, you can't tell me this is a good sign out of Russia. You cannot tell me this is a good sign. All you pro-Russian simps out there, you cannot convince me that this is a good sign. You can't convince me. Once again, he's going to allow drug addicts, alcoholics, syphilitics, asthmatics, even people with psychosis to stay in the military. It ain't going to get you discharged. So this goes to show all you autist tards out there that were scared about being drafted. And you morons, like, put out that meme out there that if you're ever drafted, all you have to do is pee and poo-poo on yourself and you avoid going to war. That shit is long gone, buddy. All right? All right? Ain't nothing going to stop you from being put out there if you need to be put out there. Remember that, boy. Remember that, boy. All right? Anyway, with that being said, remember North Korea was supposed to, be some ally of Russia and supply troops in order to aid Russia in its Ukraine endeavors, and that has gone completely down the proverbial toilet. And I said, as soon as Little Kim decided to make the decision and put his own troops out there, I said he's taking a big risk, because if the North Korean troops don't show that they're fierce fighters, then everything that North Korea says is not going to be taken serious. And it gives that much more courage, or I should say it gives that much more confidence to the South Koreans to potentially make a move on fucking North Korea. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Take a look at this. All North Korean troops have been reportedly pulled from the Russian-Ukraine front line. And why? Because the North Korean fighters suck. They suck a cock with it. They have no kind of war battle plan. They don't know how to fight. They're shooting each other. All right? I mean, this is a pathetic showing by the North Korean military, and Little Kim should be ashamed of himself. I mean, did he not think that potentially if he sends his troops out there and they don't show themselves as being fierce fighters, that this completely ruins any kind of military credibility that he has in the international community? I mean, I showed you all a couple of shows ago Russians hanging out in the infirmary with North Koreans that were wounded, and these fucking North Koreans are mesmerized by cartoons in the TV. And they like ice cream and shit like that. I mean, they're like children. It's unbelievable. Anyway, no longer in the front lines. And, Little Kim, your fucking military sucks. No wonder you're trying to get ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons. Your military sucks a cock with it. Anyway, speaking of China, they responded to the tariffs, and now all of a sudden, Trump wants to speak with Xi Jinping. All of a sudden, look at this, Trump to speak with Chinese Xi.
I'd buy that for $1.
After hiking tariffs. Ah, Jesus Christ. Pistol whip babies with a flintlock. Dude, all right, listen. I've had just about enough of this goddamn show, all right? I'm over here giving you fucking guys CIA levels of assessment here. And all you fucking people want to do is continue to troll and troll and troll. That's fucking great. That's fucking great, man. You know what? I'm doing me right now. You know, where's my pipe? Give me my goddamn pipe. All right, I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to smoke me some tobacco here, all right? I don't mean to be taking time off the show to do this, but you people are listening. You're seeing these fucking troll terrorist cyber vermin scumbags out here, all right? And, you know, I was going to do a show. I'm talking a ghost show tomorrow. I sure as hell don't think so after what the fuck you people have done to this damn True Capitalist radio show. I've been telling you trolls, leave the True Capitalist radio show alone. All right? I don't want you tards here. All right? You're tards. I don't want you here. All right? I'm giving financial insight, for Christ's sake. I'm giving political and social commentary, and the last thing I need is for you stupid fucking trolls to fuck it up. All right, so with that being said, all right, let me go ahead and take a smoke of this tobacco. It's not illegal contraband. All right, it's tobacco. So for all you folks that are trying to make any kind of false indictments on me, go, shove your goddamn fucking thumb up your damn poop chute. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a smoke here. Please excuse me, I'm sorry that I'm using Showtime for this crap. That's it, you gotta hold it in, let it hit the brain, you know? You gotta hold it in, let it hit the brain. All right, that's better, all right? That's better. Anyway, as I was stating, Trump wants to speak with China's Xi after hiking tariffs. What, do you think you're going to do the art of the deal with this goddamn guy? I mean, come on, Trump. All right, what are you doing? Now, as I said that in my mind, believe it or not, the Chinese came out. And they came out and said, no. We'll go back to the 2020 phase 1 of the trade deal that we didn't honor, motherfucker. So that's what China's doing. Y'all remember that? Right before COVID hit in America, we had signed a new trade deal with China under the Trump administration that China did not honor. China did not honor this goddamn 2020 new economic deal that was signed. They didn't honor it. So I wonder if Trump is going to say, okay, go ahead and honor the 2021 phase 1, or you didn't honor it, so we're scrapping it and we want another one. So let's see. Let's see what Trump can do, because let me tell you, we are sending way too much American money to China. The whole reason why they have become a technocratic state is because of our fucking dime, our fucking consumption. So I'm glad that we are on the negotiating table. Oh, Jesus. Can y'all piss off with these fucking goddamn troll names, please, man? All right? I'm trying to run a True Capitalist radio show here. Anyway, with that being said, China sees opportunity amidst Trump's uncertainty. And you see, that's the thing. I mean, Xi Jinping is trying to pounce off of the uncertainty.
Buy that for $1.
Oh, my God. Grind you babies to pitbull chow. All right, dude. Look, you all know that I'm trying here, all right? All right, you all know that I'm trying to do this True Capitalist radio broadcast. I'm trying to be serious, but these fucking trolls, man, they're a pimple on the ass of my life. They never fucking go away. They never go away. So, look, I'm going to do a couple more stories, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here, all right? Then I'm going to get the hell out of here. Anyway, once again, Xi Jinping sees an opportunity amidst Trump's uncertainty. And what opportunities are you asking? He's meeting everybody, all right? All right, he's meeting with the Pakistani president as we speak, all right? There it is right there. China-Pakistan ties. Presidents to focus on terrorism and the economy amid security issues. And what have I said? I said that at some point, if China wants to show its military might, it should get the blessings of the Pakistani government and go into the Balochistan region and kick fucking ass. All right? Unadulterated kicking ass and slaughter and put down the Balochistan resistance in order to show the world that the Chinese military actually has the capability of doing some serious military theater. And I think this is starting to come to pass. I prognosticated this. I wouldn't be surprised if China actually implements some robotic shit or something technologically advanced in order to protect its investments of the Belt Road Initiative and the Pakistan-Chinese Economic Corridor. Remember, they had just opened up Gwadar Airport in the Balochistan region in Pakistan, and I've said that Gwadar Airport is going to have a major terrorist attack unless China secures it, because Pakistan sure as hell can't secure it. So let's see what happens. But once again, China meeting with Pakistan, and not just meeting with Pakistan, they're also, China's meeting with the Prime Minister of Thailand. All right, take a look at that. Thailand's Prime Minister heads to China amid growing global uncertainties. So Xi is trying to, size up the international community. And, trying to, get people on China's side. As a matter of fact, it seems to me that China may be the new leader of the BRICS. Did y'all see about this shit? I'm not even joking around. China's shifting BRICS order. Take a look at this. Out of the Jakarta Post, China-led BRICS growth signals in shifting world order. The bloc's strength may reside in its capacity to integrate a diverse array of countries that are not fully aligned. But you see, China is trying to align all the countries in BRICS. It's trying to do what Russia can't do. All right? And Russia, because it's in this quagmire with Ukraine, it can't have the international influence that it once has. And China is coming in, and it's taking that influence away from Russia. It's not only taking the influence away from Russia in the Middle East, it's not only taking the influence away from Russia in Africa and in Latin America, but also the countries around Russia. All the bumfuckistans that are around Russia are now leaning towards China. So this is what this article is talking about out here, where China sees an opportunity with Trump's uncertainty. Very interesting what the hell's going to happen between the United States and China. I tell you, China right now, given the current situation with the current administration, they seem to have an upper hand on us, especially after all that DeepSeek shit, and they seem to have us against the ropes, and I don't like it, boy. I don't like it. Now, with that being said, the EU talks to avert Trump tariffs. So now, I talked about, on the February 2nd Govt report, February 3rd, that the EU is thinking in Brussels on how to confront Trump tariffs. And all that fucking debate, all that meeting in Brussels culminated into them saying, look, we want to talk. We want to talk, Trump. We don't want a tariff. We just want to talk. Fucking Eurocucks. I swear to Christ. All right? I swear to, these fucking Eurocucks think they're so fucking brilliant. And yet, the simplicity and at the snail's pace in which they move, it's just amazing that they even exist. All right? It's amazing that they even exist. So that's the EU. How to avert tariffs? Let's talk to Trump. And by the way, they're stepping up their defense efforts, because that's what Trump has been hollering, and because Trump has been wishy-washy about whether or not he's going to continue to support the Ukraine-Russia situation. This has gotten the European powers a little shaky, because without the United States as backing, they're afraid that their countries may be the next ones invaded by Russia. So as a result, you've got the EU leaders now stepping up their defense efforts. So let's see what happens with that, all right? They haven't really done much for Ukraine. Let's see what they do now. And once again, we talked about the reset talks All right? Starmer, UK's prime minister, looks like he's trying to buddy up to the EU again. And, I mean, it almost looks like he wants to be a part of the EU again. All right? I mean, this is the second article about reset talks. I mean, are we going to see the UK back in the EU? Be very, very interesting if we do. Now, I talked about this when it came to Germany. German election poll, Merz, which is the center-right candidate, did a far-right gambit of trying to pass some piece of legislation or policy about immigration, and it failed horribly. It failed horribly, and as a result, this could cost the conservatives the election. We could see another leftist government take power in Germany because of the center-right attempting to appease the far-right and failing. An absolute failing. So once again, keep your eye on Germany. We've been talking about that. Speaking of Germany and France and Europe, the Mr. Eyeliner himself, Hillbilly Heroin, or whatever the hell his name is, J.D. Vance, is going to travel to France and Germany. Well, how quaint, huh? First couple of weeks as vice president, let me go ahead and take a trip to Europe, huh? I mean, isn't that why we have the Secretary of State for? Why the hell is a fucking vice president going to Europe? What the hell is he going to do? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's continue. Japanese prime minister is going to travel to the United States on February 6th to talk to Trump. And that's why I've been drinking Japanese beer as of late, because not because of Japanese beer. It's actually pretty refreshing, and it's a light beer. Sapporo is the beer that I like to drink. I don't have any kind of advertising, or I'm not being paid to say that. But at least I'll know it won't be being hit by the tariffs. All right? Because Trump has always had an affinity for Japan, and I believe that there's not going to be any tariffs going Japan's way. So cheers to that, all right? And that's why the prime minister is coming February 6th to go hang out with Trump, for Christ's sake. Now, with that being said, sticking with Japan, did you see that they have record-breaking snow that is having a major travel disruption in Japan? I mean, record snowfall. I mean, whoever saw this type of snow in Japan? Remember, I talked about it earlier, how I posted on Govt Report an article that suggests that the polar north is actually shifting. This is why we may be seeing these types of anomalies in the weather. And speaking of anomalies, maybe Punxsutawney Phil was right. Did you hear that there is a U.S. ice storm moving northeast, Midwest to northeast? Winter is continuing to rear its ugly head this week across the Midwest and Northeast, courtesy of a potent storm that is forecast to spread a nasty mix of ice and snow Wednesday and Thursday. So maybe Punxsutawney Phil was right when he saw his fruity-ass shadow. Anyway, but I digress. Did y'all hear South Korea is now seizing crypto from tax evaders? I'm telling you, you crypto bros, I don't know what y'all are smoking. I do not think that the current environment right now is crypto-friendly, regardless of what politicians are saying. All right, look at South Korea. This measure is a decision to establish tax justice so that citizens who faithfully pay their taxes are not disadvantaged. So all the money that people made on rug pulls and pump and dumps,
I'd buy that.
you're going to have to pay it. Oh, what kind of a fucking name is that? What kind of a fucking name is that? Oh, all right, look. I think I'm about done with this show. I got a couple more stories, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. All right? I deserve more respect than this shit. All right? This is true capitalist radio, man. I deserve more respect. Jesus Christ, man. You know what? Let me have another smoke here, all right? I'm taking another smoke. I'm doing me now, all right? That's what I'm doing. I'm doing me. Piece of shit. Give me a smoke. That's it. Gotta hold it in, let it hit the brain, all right? All right. Anyway, let me just move on, all right? let me just move on. Anyway, crypto bros, you better watch out for South Korea is all I got to say. All right? Now, we talked about how the Pakistani prime minister is going to meet with Chinese. The Thailand prime minister is going to meet with the Chinese.
I'd buy that for
Oh,
$1.
God. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Let me get done with my fucking show! Let me get done with my fucking show! Anyway, as I was stating, all right, Japan is going to meet with Trump, or the Japanese prime minister is going to meet with Trump in the United States February 6th. Now we have India's Modi going to meet with Trump next week, all right? So I know that many of you MAGA people had this very bad reaction when Vivek Ramaswamy was saying that Trump is going to allow a flood of H-1B1 visa people from India into the country. I think this is where that deal is going to be struck. I think this is where that deal is going to be struck, for Christ's sake. So, thank you, come again. You know, all you people out there that you voted for Trump, all you that vote for Trump, I thank you very much. Thank you, come again. Anyway, once again, I think this meeting is going to culminate in the H-1B1 visa debate, and we'll see how many Indians that we have in the country in the next coming years, all right? Anyway, Australia, they're banning DeepSeek on government devices. I mean, can you blame them, all right? I mean, with all due respect. And, of course, we just heard that Benjamin Netanyahu met with Trump today, and they just had a press conference. And, of course, Trump wants ownership of Gaza, which I think is probably going to upset a lot of folks in the Middle East. But, hey, this is the new foreign policy, huh? So I guess there's a deal. And part of that deal, did you hear Hamas today says that they're in talks for a second phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal. So I guess there may be some kind of a half-ass deal after all. By God, are we... I don't know about this. I don't know about you, but I'm a little tired of talking about this issue. All right? I mean, no offense. I know that there's a lot of lives that are being lost. It's a tough issue, but I'm just saying, man. All right? I'm just saying. Speaking of issues in the Middle East, did you hear Trump today? He's going to assert maximum pressure on Iran, huh? Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, 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 Iran. Maximum pressure on Iran. So, for all you folks that thought that Trump was going to be the hold hands and sing kumbaya president, I mean, he's actually being very aggressive, particularly to Iran. And why? Because Iran tried to kill him. All right? They put out a fatwa, or whatever the hell they call it, some shit, in order to try to get to Trump. And Trump knows it, so it's a little personal, in my opinion, when it comes to Iran. All right? That's why he wants to bomb Iran. Or he may let Israel do it. You know, I've said that since the beginning. I said that since October 7th attacks. I said that we should use Israel's motivation and get them to do our dirty work in Iran. And that's exactly what Trump looks like he's going to do. I'm glad. All right, I'm glad. And speaking of the Middle East, did you hear the Al-Qaeda, ex-Al-Qaeda, whatever you want to call them, the new Syrian leader came out and denounced Iran and called all of its proxies in the region a threat. All right? So the leader of Syria, not down with Iran. All right? Not down with Iran whatsoever. So Iran's not very popular amongst the Middle East, unfortunately, for them. I mean, fuck them, but I mean, unfortunately for them, not very popular amongst the Middle East. All right.
I'd buy that for $1.
God. All right. Don't donate to me anymore. I'm done with this shit. All right? I'm just a guy trying to do a fucking show, man. Enough of this troll shit. Enough of this troll horse shit. Anyway, on top of denouncing Iran, the Syrian leader actually went to Turkey to meet with Erdogan. All right, see if they have a commitment to fighting terror, even though the Syrian leader was some bloodthirsty Al-Qaeda motherfucker, but you got to figure that out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure that out for yourself. And once again, we were just talking about Somalia. Is this a forever war that we're going to be in Somalia? Trump, the peacemaker, ramps up America's forever war in Somalia. Y'all remember that shit? The Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down, all that shit. I mean, that was a long, long time ago, and we're still fucking around in this country. Now, to Somalia's credit, there is some natural resources. They have a port there. There's a whole bunch of strategic reasons, I believe, on why you have America's presence in this particular country. But still, it has always been a terror hole, and it seems like we're going to stay there and continue to back up the authorities out there. You know, it is what it is. Speaking of, like, shitholes, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which has been under a rebel assault by a rebel group calling themselves the M23. Well, the M23, we were just talking about it earlier.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, God. Phil Rott, 3 beers. Well, thank you for the 3 beers. I'll get to those buy me a coffees in just a second. I'm almost done here. I'm almost done. Anyway, the M23 have declared a ceasefire, a unilateral ceasefire in the Congo. This is after almost slaughtering over 1,000 people in the past, couple of weeks. And, of course, everybody in the United Nations are talking about war crimes, bad situation happening out there in the Democratic Republic of Congo. All right, but what else is new in this region? I'm not trying to, make light of the situation, but, I mean, hasn't this been habitual? Hasn't this been habitual in this region? And last but not least, you got little Marco, the Secretary of State, going down to El Salvador, all right, and actually talking with the young millennial El Salvador leader, and the El Salvador leader has offered to accept deportees from the United States of any nationality, including Americans. Now, I said on Twitter, and let me go ahead and show that Twitter post, all right, that the reason Buchel, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the leader of El Salvador, the reason that he's actually doing this is because this is the guy that tried to create El Salvador's legal tender as Bitcoin, okay? Now, earlier this week, all right, the IMF was able to convince the government of El Salvador to sign a loan guarantee. Now, part of that loan guarantee by the IMF was that they no longer had Bitcoin as their legal tender. So that's why I tweeted this. There's Buchel right there, and he's like, hey, look, we're offering the United States of America the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. And I said that, truth be told, Buchel's gums are still bleeding after selling out to the International Monetary Fund and being forced to reverse El Salvador's Bitcoin legal tender status. Although sending habitual U.S. criminals over there is not a bad idea, it cuts cost and liability, optical win-win for both sides. But as I stated, folks, that's the reason why Buchel is offering this, because, he doesn't look very good, all right? I mean, that's bad egg on the face on the fact that Buchel tried to be this revolutionary type of leader to try to bring in technology into the El Salvador economy, and because they cannot maintain paying their deficits, they had to sign off and sell out to the International Monetary Fund for a loan. Part of that loan agreement was that El Salvador no longer use Bitcoin as legal tender. So that's why he's doing it, because, first of all, he needs money, right? I mean, Buchel, the reason why he sold out to the IMF is because you've got El Salvador that has debts it can't pay. So it needs some revenue-generating scheme in order for them to pay off some of this debt, and hence why Buchel is offering United States.
That for $1.
No. That's why he's offering the United States this situation. So we shall see what happens, all right? Now we're at the end of the broadcast, and let's get to some totally useless news, all right? Now, Kanye arrives at the Grammy with his naked squeeze.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, yeah, thanks a lot. Anyway, he arrives to the Grammys with his naked squeeze here, Bianca Censori, and I think the pictures speak for themselves. I read that Kanye was actually removed because he showed up like this. I heard that he was actually kicked out of the Grammys because he showed up with this broad naked. All right, I'm not joking. I can't confirm or deny that, but that's what I read. All right, brought a naked bitch to the Grammys. I'm not even kidding. Second totally useless news segment. UFC fighter breaks penis. All right. Ex-UFC fighter says, I'll never do this again after fracturing penis and being rushed for surgery. What is this guy's name? Mateus Medonka has issued a stark warning to other combat sport participants after participating in a training session gone wrong. Saw him ruled out for 2 months with a sickening injury. Now, I look, I'm going to be honest with you. I have known someone who's actually broken their penis. All right, I'm not joking around. Now, let me explain how he did it. He did it by he got naked. He was in a horizontal mambo session with a woman. And he decided, and I don't know if it's the fucking comic book. I don't know what it is, all right? But this man decided that he was going to do a Jimmy Superfly Snuka dive onto this broad while fully erect and, play cornhole with her vaginal region. I'm not joking around. He was literally trying to jump into this woman's vaginal region, and he missed, all right? And all of his weight landed on his erect penis, and as a result, he broke the penis. It was a horrible situation, and he had to have surgery, and it was always curved ever since. They called him Captain Hook after that. I'm not joking. Very bad story, but this can actually happen. You can break your penis, all right? You can actually break your penis. Anyway, the next totally useless news story, furries warned not to abuse other species. Well, there you go, huh? I mean, what else do you expect from furries? Take a look at this. Furries warned not to abuse other species at Glasgow event. Strict rules on sexual activity are put in place as peoples who identify as animals are given code of conduct. Oh, God. Fucking freaky fucking furries. And what have I told you about furries? Furries are nothing but fatties and uglies that are trying to hide their disgusting fat bodies in order for them to partake in deviant sexual behavior. All right? That's all it is. That's all furries are. They're fatties and uglies. All right? And they're trying to hide behind that fucking mascot outfit. It's fucking ridiculous. All right? Anyway, this is the last one. And yes, this is live, Mud Peppers, you stupid moron. Anyway, last one, since we're on the man-child subject matter, last totally useless news, Costco brawl over Pokemon cards. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at this shit. All right? A brawl breaks out over Pokemon cards at Southern California Costco. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, you assholes, we're getting to a whole new level of man-child. Now we're getting into brawls over the last Pokemon card pack at fucking Costco. You know that Costco, they sell other shit there, like gold bars and silver bars and shit. No, they're fighting over Pokemon! Oh, my God. What have we become, my sweetest friend? Everyone I know goes away in the end. Anyway, that concludes the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I've been on here for about 2.5 hours. Let me get to the buy me a coffees, and then I'm going to get the hell out of here, for Christ's sake. It's a bunch of trolley bastards. All right? Put the PC shot on. Here are these trolley bastards here. Pistol whip babies with a flintlock. Oh, baby. I don't know what kind of tuna fish language is this? I don't even know how to read that. If you're going to fucking say something to me, talk to me in American. We got Jag's Zookeeper. Oh, great. Fun fact, all the troll donos are in fact self-donos from Mrs. Fuck off. Are you fucking kidding me? Mrs. Ghost. And real fucked up name, by the way. And another fucked up name, Grind You Babies into Pitbull Chow. Didn't say anything, but a fucked up fucking shitbird name nonetheless. And we've got Ezra. I'm not saying that. Look, I am not saying this. All right. Shalom, Ghost. It's Ezra K. I'm not saying that. I love your lovable dark butt Jewish villain. Come to steal your shekels and consume your foreskins. Just wanted to say thanks for your bi-monthly payment of Goyim dollars. Fuck off. All right. Fuck off. Anyway, we got Mr. Nguyen in the house, and Mr. Nguyen says all Catholics should unite against Musk and G.I. Jane. Also, why aren't you advocating the friendship pikes for them? Also, meet me at Plaza de Constitucion. Dude, that's... Oh, God. Dude, stop doxing fucking politicians and shit, all right? Stop this shit. Stop. All right, everybody stop. Y'all are going to get me in fucking trouble, man. Cut the shit. We got Froppy here. I had to step back before I remembered this. Trump fired our counter-terrorism FBI informants because some of them were investigating him for the January 6th. Should Hamas get involved, it's unlikely we'd be ready for a counterattack. Likely because there's also talks in the military about refusing orders to go into Gaza. If Trump sends in U.S. troops to Gaza and forces everyone out, the blowback will be major. Well, that's one decent point your fruity ass fucking made today, Froppy, all right? You named the names of the Elon Musk lackeys that are out there camped out in the Treasury Department auditing everything, but this is the first fucking point that you had that was worth the shit.
That for $1.
That's great. And what's going on to Gregory Keys? I'll get to yours in just a second, man. Cheers. And Phil Rott with 3 beers. I heard they found a copy of The Raft by Phil Rott in a secret Hamas tunnel. That's all you need to know. What the hell does that mean? The Raft by Phil Rott. What the hell does that mean? Either way, cheers to you, Phil Rott, for the 3 beers, man. And
I'd buy that for $1.
hey, cheers to someone. I'm going to get to yours in just a second. El Foxo Loco, Radio Graffiti Fun going? No. All right? Like I said, I'm probably going to do a ghost show either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Probably tomorrow. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. All right, you fucking trolls have invaded the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. I keep telling you idiots to leave the show the fuck alone. But no, you fucking people are a bad case of herpes, and you never fucking go away. Let's see. We got X Hot and Ready. ZZZ, shut up and get to Radio Graffiti. Alex Jones. P.S. Your trading cards suck. Well, that's because you're a Canadian bacon piece of trash that's on the assembly line, I don't know, putting the tails on the Pokemon or some shit, all right? I mean, if I had a shitty job like yours, I'd be fucking going ape shit too, all right? I'd be watching you on the news, man, over there in fucking Canada. Anyway, Gregory Cass, I love the show. I never knew you were back live. How exciting. I'd love to go get some protests with you and get on the and get to this border back wide open. What the fuck is it? Get the border back wide open. Love you, baby. I don't want the border wide open. And somewhat, imagine unloading guns with your homies, then unloading your meaty extension cord to your homies. Anyway, thanks for the show. Well, all right, yeah, I don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean. Sounded very homoerotic. Don't appreciate it, but thank you, someone, all right? All right, with that being said, folks, all right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me here this evening. I'm going to be in the True Capitalist Radio membership chat room. I'm going to be in there chilling. if you'd like to join, all you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and become a member. All right? And don't be a troll. Be somebody who wants to talk about serious issues, and don't be some loudmouth that thinks you know it all when all you're doing is, you're typing in Chat GPT and like regurgitating the bullshit that you're reading off of there. We called somebody out for that yesterday, and he was completely humiliated. He was completely humiliated, and rightfully so. He should be humiliated. He's a fucking idiot. So if you want to have serious conversation and actually want to do something better with your life, everybody in there that is taking the chat serious is getting better with their lives. They're getting advice from badass investors like Duke Orville and others. I mean, they're kicking some fucking ass, all right? So anyway, cheers to the True Capitalist Radio member chat. Once again, we're sending any member who joins a free trading card of the True Capitalist Radio. And there's already been, I think, 3 or 4 cards that have been distributed. And it is a perk of being a part of the True Capitalist Radio member chat room, all right? So with that being said, thank you guys very much for chilling in here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, all right? I may or may not have a ghost show tomorrow, but at some point before Friday or on Friday, we will be having a ghost show, all right? No more movie nights for Ghost Show. That was the most retarded shit that happened at the end of the Ghost Show last time. No more movie night. You people are tards, and, your parents should be pistol whipped for popping out some fruity-ass piece of garbage like you out of their nutsack. And by the way, whoever the hell this fake Elon Musk is, stop doxing fucking people, you piece of shit! Stop doxing people! Oh, my God. All right, folks. Anyway, a great show today. We went through a whole bunch of material, and I hope that you grasp a little something from it, all right? And once again, folks, if you haven't already done so, please add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites my official website, ghost.report. All right, all you got to do is type in your browser, ghost.report, and I have Ghost Report Daily, in which every single day I aggregate news for you at your ease to go and read at your leisure. All right? All right, take a look at this. If you come here every day and take a look at the news that I post, you will be abreast of what the hell is going on in the world. You will know what you're talking about. I'm not even joking around. So add your bookmarks and add your favorites. Ghost.report. All right? Simple as that. Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me. If you happen to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, I will be in there in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go have a smoke or some shit. Anyway, man, thank you all for tuning in with me. Once again, if you haven't done so, follow me on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. The Ghost Report. All one word, no underscores. The Ghost Report. All right? Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to have a ghost show. It's either going to be sometime between Wednesday and Friday. Or could be Friday. Who knows? Excuse me. It could be Friday. Who the hell knows? All right? Anyway, man, thank you all for tuning in with me. Until next time, long live the capitalist army, and I'm out of here.